Anyways, let's begin. I'd like to start off with a quick anecdote involving Nadeem. I had the opportunity to go on his bachelor party, which I won't talk about, but I flew back with Nadeem. And I remember getting on the plane. He took a left to go to first class. I took a right to go to the back of the plane. It was literally the back of the plane where the seat, it wouldn't even recline because the back wall was behind me. And it was a middle seat between two 300-pound German dudes. I was sweating, they were sweating. I had no sleep the night before, and I was hungover from a weekend of partying. But I remember getting off the plane and getting in the car with Nadeem. And the first thing Nadeem told me was, "Nate, that was the worst plane ride of my life." Yeah. I was so sorry to hear that his seat would only recline 160 degrees. But you know, no matter how you got here, whether it was the front or the back of the plane, we know it wasn't easy. So on behalf of our families, we'd like to welcome you, and we'd like to thank you for coming out to Taormina, Italy. Thank you. This weekend has been absolute magic, spending it with all of you. Okay, Nadeem. So when Sheffy first told me she was dating a guy named Nadeem, I gotta be honest. My first thought was, Nadeem. That's an unusual name for a Jewish guy, isn't it? As you know, Nadeem's not Jewish. Although I learned shortly thereafter that Nadeem was 5'9", has a sarcastic sense of humor, went to Columbia undergrad, and works on the own leadership team. I'm sure Sheffy was thinking, close enough. But you know, for me and my family, being Jewish isn't something that we necessarily care about for the guy that dates my sister. We care about a different set of values, or similar, depending on how you look at it. And I think the best way to describe this is to explain how I met Nadeem, and Sheffy introduced Nadeem to our family. It was a series of 3 first dates. The first was with me, the second was with me and my mom, and the third was with me and my dad. So on the first date, Nadeem and Sheffy take me out to an Italian restaurant in New York. Some of you may have heard, Il Buco. It was a busy Thursday night, and after introducing himself, Nadeem pulled out a portable speaker and he put it underneath the table. He started playing Frank Sinatra. Cool. Off to a good start. By the time the first glass of wine came out, he switched to the Gypsy Kings, and he hit that volume button 3 times up, getting louder. By the time our second glass of wine came out, it was Jay-Z and Beyonce going back and forth underneath our dinner table. And by the end of the night, Coldplay, live from Amsterdam on full blast. And everyone in the restaurant was loving it. But nobody was loving it more than me, because I realized Nadeem passed my test. The thing that I was looking for was, does this guy know how to have fun? Passed. But on the second date with me and my mom was looking for something different. Nadeem took us out to brunch, and then after brunch, he took my mom to the US Open. Now, for those of you that haven't met my mom, she loves tennis, really loves tennis. So much so that when she came home that night, she told me and Sheffy, I had the most incredible day with my future son-in-law. Who would have thought that all it would take for my mom to give up her daughter were tickets to the US Open? But what I'm trying to say here is what my mom was actually looking for was kindness and thoughtfulness for others. Passed. On the third date with me and my dad, I remember I showed up about 5 minutes late, and they were already in a deep conversation about mortgage rates, single-family home prices in Southwest Florida, and whether Elon Musk companies were a worthwhile investment. And me and Sheffy watched for the next hour as they went back and forth. I knew then that my dad found what he was looking for: intellect. I can't tell you how grateful I am that Sheffy decided to go outside of her comfort zone to date this Canadian Ismaili of Pakistani descent. Because through it, I've gotten to know the most charismatic, funniest, down-to-earth, genuine, kind, intelligent human being that I've ever met. What's more, and probably more importantly, I have never seen my sister this happy in her life. And today, I get the privilege of calling Nadeem my brother. On behalf of our family, which is now your family, we love you. Okay, Sheffy, sister. You know, there's a time in my life that I don't love to talk about. When I was a kid, I was actually bullied. Yeah, funny. There was a kid that went to my school that would beat me up when nobody was looking, that would call me names. There was Fatty, there was Ogre, and of course there was Fat Ogre. But you know, I'm grateful that I had an older sibling that was able to stand up to that bully. And that older sibling is sitting right there. Her name is Julie, and she stood up to Sheffy, who made my childhood a living misery. But you know, as Sheffy got older, she pulled this 180. She turned that hate into love. I remember on my 12th birthday, our parents were out of town. I thought I'd be celebrating it alone. And Sheffy surprised me with a birthday cake, candles, one of those well-written cards that she writes every single year, and she sang me happy birthday. I remember a few years later, before my first day of high school, I used to wear basketball shorts to middle school. Sheffy forced me to go shopping with her. She picked out jeans, some cool shirts, and I remember on my first day of high school, I got compliments from 3 different girls. I never talked to those girls again because I was a fat, awkward ogre, but that was my fault. And I remember on when Sheffy went off to college in Montreal at McGill. On the 6-hour drive back, I found myself looking at that empty seat next to me, wiping tears away from my eyes, because I realized in that moment just how special Sheffy was, how much Sheffy means to me, and how much she means to our family. You know, of all the things that I am grateful for, standing here tonight, it is that you, Sheffy, are my sister. And you know, our family will always want the very best for you. We always have. I can't tell you how much joy it brings us that you found exactly that. You found Nadeem. Words will never be able to express the scale, the magnitude of how we truly feel. But Sheffy, know this. On behalf of me, Julie, Mommy, and Daddy, we are happy for you. We are proud of you. And we love you. I'm gonna start drinking now. I hope you'll join me, although it's gone. Oh, thank you. All right, so a toast to family, to friends, to love, and to Sheffy and Nadeem.